The 29th of June, I will have been ordained priest for 40 years. And of course, in the circumstances, it's not possible to any celebrating face to face and in reality. So we're going to do some virtual reality celebrations. There'll be a live streamed Eucharist on Sunday for St. Francis of Assisi Church in Bournemouth at 10:30. And now we have some greetings from people from the various parishes and colleges that I've ministered in over these last 40 years. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from my friends and colleagues over those years from all sorts of different contexts and locations. Thank you to all of you for responding to the invitation to share in this virtual celebration.
Greetings. I was so pleased to be asked to contribute to this 40th anniversary. 40 years. Gosh, we were so excited about the upcoming ordinations. I had a brother being ordained priest in Wakefield, a future husband being made deacon in Manchester, and of course my best friend Paul was being ordained priest in Lichfield. His ordination and first Eucharist were such special occasions. Paul was always up for a do. He always loved a party. He used to make a lovely cheesecake, celebratory his signature dish for the aftermath. I'm so pleased that Paul is still celebrating, managing to celebrate his 40th anniversary in such unprecedentedly strange times. Thank you, Paul, for consistently celebrating your Christian faith with us and celebrating it with such joy. Thank you, Paul, and God bless.
Hi Paul, it's Mike, your cousin. Congratulations on your 40 years as a man of the cloth. The family are all very proud of you, and I'm sure Den and Marion are too. I have a little confession. I've often dropped out that my cousin is a priest, especially when you were at Lindisfarne and appeared on TV. And of course, we're an author of a book on theology. It's amazing how my perceived respectability soared. So thank you for allowing me to bathe in your light. The book, by the way, even though we were both at the same grammar school together, does demonstrate why it's you who have the PhD. Once again, congratulations, Paul. Love to Pauline and the girls. Joyce sends her love. Take care and God bless.
Good morning, Paul. Congratulations and celebrations on this, your 40th anniversary on ordination as a priest. It was a splendid service in Lichfield Cathedral, followed by a happy get-together with family and friends. No get-together possible now, but I'm sure you will have an enjoyable day. With love and many good wishes, Anne.
Hello, Paul. Max and I send you our best wishes and every blessing on the 40th anniversary of your ordination. I have very happy memories of your time as Vicar of All Saints Lake. Being rather new to the church, I greatly appreciated your ability to encourage, to teach and to organise, as so much was accomplished in the 3 years you spent in the town, which culminated in a wonderful centenary celebration which everyone in the town enjoyed. Since then, Max and I have both enjoyed your friendship and that of your family, and would like to send our love and best wishes to you, to Pauline, to Helena and Sophie on this very special day.
I'm glad of this opportunity to pay a small personal tribute to Father Paul for the 40th anniversary of his ordination as a priest. It's a happy coincidence that the anniversary itself falls on the day which honours St Peter and St Paul jointly, although I suspect that 40 years ago St Paul didn't get much of a look in, as in those days in the Church of England it was generally kept as the feast of St Peter only. It was just a few years later that his former college principal David Hope, later Archbishop of York, commended Paul as a young theologian to join the staff of Chichester Theological College. That began a long association with Chichester, the college, the university and the diocese, as scholar, teacher, pastor, author and ecumenist, in all of which roles Paul made a major contribution. It would not be appropriate to mention too many people by name, but I do of course want to send my greetings to Pauline on this occasion. And I must also record a respectful memory of Ben, Paul's three-legged Labrador, who also became an important feature in the life of Chichester Theological College. I must also add a passing mention of a mutual friend, originally known to us as Father James of the Indian Orthodox Church, now the Bishop of the Diocese of Brahmavar as Bishop Jakub Mar Elias. I cannot, of course, speak at first hand of Paul's time on Holy Island, but felt from the time that I first heard of his appointment there how appropriate it was that someone whose original academic discipline had been history, but whose life and work had pointed towards the end of history, should be for a while one whose care was both for a local congregation and also for pilgrims seeking in an earthly shrine a symbol of their eternal dwelling. I also recall with pleasure the fact that Paul served as the vicar of the parish of the Good Shepherd, Brighton. Being a good shepherd requires the kind of versatility of which Paul's namesake wrote, "I became everything to everyone, that I might by all means save some." Paul, your varied ministry has been a wonderful witness to that. Thank you.
I first got to know Paul in the intense and full-on atmosphere of Chichester Theological College in the 1980s. He joined the staff a few years after me and taught what was then called Doctrine 2 and Liturgy, while I taught Doctrine 1 and Ethics. He struck me immediately as a sensible and reliable person who was exactly what we needed in such an environment. He also had a good sense of humour, which was essential when dealing with some of the characters we had in that community. Paul came in a package. He was accompanied by an amiable three-legged dog, a black Labrador, who was sadly killed in an accident, giving Paul a lot of grief. I also knew Pauline, of course, as one of the few brave female students in the college. She joined soon before I moved back to parish life in 1990, and so I never witnessed the romance between them blossom. When I left, Paul took over my role as Director of Studies for the college, just the right person for the job. I followed Paul's career with interest after we ceased working together, and was glad to see it was interesting and varied. I was really pleased when I learned he was coming to this area a couple of years ago. I live in Dorchester, and we have renewed our friendship. I'd like to warmly congratulate him on his 40 years in the priesthood, though, as I often say on these occasions, the second 40 will be more challenging than the first.
Hello, Paul. Greetings from Graham in Oxford. I was the assistant curate at the Good Shepherd in Brighton when you became the vicar there in the mid-1990s. And I owe you much as a priest, as a teacher, particularly of liturgy and doctrine, as a person I prayed for almost every day for 2 years, and as a friend. Congratulations on 40 years of priesthood. And love to you, all of your family, and the people of St. Francis, Bournemouth. Thank you.
It was great to meet up with Paul and Pauline again when I visited my family home in Poole several months ago. I was his warden for a fair time at the Good Shepherd, and particularly recall his splendid course of Lenten sermons. The administrative improvements he introduced still serve us well today. Later, when head of theology at Chichester University, he stimulated my interest and encouraged me to take my master's degree, for which I will always be grateful. He brought academic excellence to the church, to this church, a direction in which, under our present clerical leadership, we can again have aspirations as we approach our centenary. Thank you, Paul. Congratulations and God bless.
On behalf of all of us here at the Good Shepherd in Brighton, we'd like to congratulate Paul for this momentous milestone and offer our love and prayers. We have many special memories of Paul's time with us here and feel particularly very happy and privileged that Paul, Pauline, Helena and Sophie have become lifelong family friends. Congratulations, Paul, and have a lovely day.
Paul, my warmest greetings to you on this 40th anniversary of your ordination to the priesthood. It comes as a little bit of a shock to realise that I first got to know you when you were not quite halfway through that 4 decades of priestly ministry, which means that we've been friends now for over 20 years. And our children who first got to know each other when they were in primary school together, when we were both colleagues and next door neighbours at the Queen's Foundation in Birmingham, those children who were then in primary school are now some way into adult life. Well, over the time I've known you as a colleague and a friend, I've seen you at work in a range of different contexts, working in ministerial formation at Queen's, working as a theological teacher and researcher in a university department, working as an incumbent in a parish. And I've seen many gifts, many skills and many aspects of your work, and valued those gifts and skills. From our time at Queen's, I still remember a spectacular Easter vigil that you organised and led one year. From your time at Chichester University, I treasure memories of visiting, working with you there as the external examiner for your MA programme. More recently, I have wonderful memories of a weekend of admittedly slightly chilly weather on Holy Island, but weekend of wonderful hospitality, and a glorious weekend when my family and I stayed with you when you invited me one year to preach at the Easter services. And it's clear to me that what has united all the different roles that you've played and the various gifts you've exercised and the various kinds of work you've done has been your priestly vocation. Your priestly ministry has been the bedrock of all these different roles you've played and the different places and ways in which you've served. I've appreciated many things over the years of the privilege of working with you and knowing you in these different contexts. And one of the things that I've really appreciated has been that in these various ways of working out your ministry, you've also been a true ecumenist, I think. Someone profoundly rooted in your own tradition, a great exponent of it, and alongside that, someone deeply appreciative of other traditions and hospitable towards them. And I've valued that hospitality myself on a number of different occasions. There's much more I could say about our friendship, about your work and your gifts and the ways I've seen you exercise them, but as someone once said, time would fail me. So let me end as I began, with my warmest greetings on this anniversary and every blessing for whatever God calls you to next.
Hello Paul, Pauline, Helena, Sophie and all the family at St Francis. Greetings in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, as they say in Africa, on this special anniversary.
It's a joy to be with you today, and we look forward to celebrating in a non-virtual, more material but no less spiritual way when the day makes it possible. 40 years for you as a priest, Paul, and we must have known one another for 25 of those.
We think we met first when Pauline and I worked together in the same room at the diocesan office in Church House, Birmingham, and our friendship sprang from that time.
And it was a privilege for me to work with you, Paul, in Birmingham on some day courses, which you may not remember now, and then later to be trusted with the oversight of Holy Island for a couple of cold January weeks, while the vicar was enjoying the subtropical sunshine in the Canaries, I think. But above all, I enjoyed and am so grateful for your ministry with us at St Paul's, Chichester, for the best part of a decade. Substantial and rooted preaching, significant contributions to our ministerial conferences, creative, exciting, inspiring and imaginative liturgies. Not many churches will have had a ceiling-high maypole in the middle of the Mass. And sound scholarship underpinning it all, always anchored in the Church's heritage and variety, and adorned with an international cultural heritage.
Not only have we been blessed with you as colleagues, but it's a pleasure and a privilege for us to enjoy your friendship and your hospitality.
Congratulations on your 40 years of priesthood, Paul, and may God grant you and Pauline many blessings in your ministry through the decades to come.
Dear friends, I am Father Paul Pulikan from Trichy, Kerala, India. I teach at the Mary Mother Major Seminary in Trichy. Also, I am in charge of the Chair for Christian Studies at the University of Calicut. I am very happy to greet and congratulate Reverend Father Paul Collins on the 40th anniversary of his priestly ordination. This is a time to thank the Lord for the marvelous deeds that he has done in the life of Father Paul and through Father Paul to the Church in England and to the Church at large. I met Father Paul when he came to India in 2005, and that contact really grew, and we had very fruitful exchange in these years. In 2006, he gave a lecture at the University of Calicut, and then he invited me to a seminar in Hawarden, Wales, in 2007, Interreligious Dialogue and Ecclesiology. And because of him, I could be part of the research team, Ecclesiological Investigations, a team that explored the ecumenical possibilities of ecclesiology. And then we had a seminar together in 2008 on inculturation and the church in India. And Paul and I, we co-edited a book, The Church and Culture in India, Inculturation, Theory and Praxis. And in 2017, he invited me to England and I gave a lecture for the Lindisfarne Graduate Program, Newcastle, and the topic was Inculturation of Liturgy and Gospel. What has really impressed me is Paul's openness, the ecumenical spirit. He has been very gracious to have a very friendly dialogue with other religions, with all the churches, And that has been a great inspiration for all the Christians, for us to really work together. He is a great scholar in ecumenism, in Indian spirituality, liturgy, enculturation. But above all, is a man of prayer, man of simplicity, close to God. I wish him all the best in the future life, future priestly work. I thank for his kindness and hospitality, which I have enjoyed visiting his home many times. I also extend my warm wishes to Pauline, Helen, and Sophie. Ad multos años. May Father Paul, work many years in the vineyard of the Lord. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to be able to participate in this service marking the 40th anniversary of Paul Collins' ordination as priest. My name is Ian Coursey, and I worked with Paul whilst he was the vicar of St Mary's Church, Holy Island, from 2011 to 2017. Holy Island is an unusual parish. There are only about 140 people who live year-round within it, but something like 500,000 people a year cross the causeway when the tide is out to visit. A considerable proportion of those visitors enter the church, so there are very limited resources to look after the needs of, in the summer season at least, a very busy church. Quite a challenge. Ministry on the island is based around a regular pattern of daily services in the church, or was until the present strange hiatus, meeting the needs of the many pilgrims and retreatants staying on the island. An early morning prayer followed by communion, and an evening prayer, a busy schedule for any priest. But a very rewarding one, as the visitors are from all over the world. In previous years, Paul travelled to interesting corners of the Christian world. On Holy Island, Christians from all corners with fascinating stories to tell came right to Paul's doorstep. One delight on Holy Island was the willingness of musicians and performers to visit for concerts and performances. Paul made full use of them. Paul followed in some illustrious footsteps in his ministry on Holy Island. The original monastic site there was founded by Aidan in 537, and the beloved Cuthbert was buried there after his remarkable ministry. That was, of course, before his long journey that eventually ended in Durham Cathedral. And it was on Holy Island that Eadfrith created the treasure that we know as the Lindisfarne Gospels. It was a pleasure and privilege for me to work with Paul through his ministry on the island, and a sadness that ill health caused him to have to take early retirement. We wish him, together with Pauline and the family, very best wishes for his continued ministry in St Francis Church in Bournemouth.
Good morning, Paul, and greetings from John and Fiona in Northumberland. Congratulations on attaining this milestone in your service in God's church, and good wishes, prayers and rich blessings for your future service as you continue to share God's love.
John and I always remember your kindness and friendship when we first began to worship at St Mary's on Holy Island, and will be forever grateful for your thoughtful help.
Our warmest Christian love to you and Pauline, and our very best wishes.
Hello, Paul. This is a very, very special greeting from Holy Island, because you are about to, or are in the middle of, I don't know exactly the date, celebrating the 40th anniversary of your priesthood. And we all wanted to make sure that we got a message to you, to wish you well and to thank you for all that you have done for us, and to hope that the future will be fine, and in 10 years' time we'll be celebrating another one. Maybe not all of us that are here, but we shall be celebrating it. Please give our love to Pauline and to the girls.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Greetings from Holy Island. Just contacting you to thank you very much for all your help and support while you were here, and to wish you congratulations on 40 years of ministry.
And I would like to thank you, Paul, for all your support and your care when I was discerning my vocation, and prompting me to go and see the DDO. And I'm now sitting here because of lockdown waiting for my ordination in October, but will be licensed as have a special license as a lay minister on the 4th of July and become the curate of Holy Island, which I'm very proud of being, and also very aware that I would not have been here without your guidance. We wish you well, wish you and Pauline well, and we're so pleased that you're really, really happy down in Bournemouth. But we miss you. We miss you a lot. So do take care and enjoy your special day.
God bless you, Paul.
God bless.
Paul, Lucinda joins me in sending our love and best wishes on this anniversary of your priesthood, 50th anniversary. Have a really great day. Eve, it's 48 years, not me, 48 years ago, I think, that we met on Durham, along with other friends whom I believe are also contributing today. Hi, Andrew, Peter, haven't seen you, either of you, for years. We must. So, the years have passed, and I'm not only a voice from the past, I'm that, I'm also celebrating the present and wanting to say how in Bournemouth Town Centre Parish, particularly at St Stephen's and St Peter's, we're really hugely grateful to you, Paul. The active, lively, fun, focused engagement of your priest in our churches. People so much look forward to your preaching, so do I. And St Stephen's looks forward to you. And, you know, Lucinda and I will always be grateful for the way in which you engaged with our daughter Miranda and her husband Matthew and celebrated their wedding. Thank you so much. Have a really great day. Our love, our prayers, our thanksgivings are with you and Pauline and all the family.
Well, hello. I'm Rupert Higgins, Vicar of St Mark's, Talbot Village, and we're delighted that Paul and Pauline have moved into our parish on their retirement. And thank you so much, Paul, for all you're doing with us. Your thoughts of the day at the moment with this COVID lockdown. And we're just so grateful to your assistance. And congratulations on 40 years of ordination. It sounds incredible, but congratulations on that. And it's wonderful that although you are retired, you're not really. You're carrying on. Maybe there's no retirement in the kingdom of God. But thank you so much for all your kindness to us. And we appreciate it so much from you and from Pauline. And hope that today is a very special day for you both. God bless, and love from all at St Mark's Church.
Hello, I'm Jenny, the priest in charge here at St Francis of Assisi Church in Bournemouth. And Paul joined us in 2018, and it's been a real privilege to share together with him in ministry here. When we first met, we realised we'd had people and places in common as I served my curacy in Walsall in the West Midlands. Paul has this way of being able to explain really complicated ideas so that anyone can understand. And it's lovely to be able to see the artwork that he uses and places with his thoughts, his talks and sermons. And I want to say thank you for sharing that wisdom, doctrine and scripture that you have. It's been a real privilege to be able to hear all that you have to share. And as followers of Jesus, we know that we never retire. And I'm sure that God has even more of an adventure to share with you yet. So I want to say congratulations, Paul, on reaching this amazing milestone. 40 years. What a great achievement. And on a more personal note, I want to say thank you for the friendship and the support that you give to me here at St Francis.
Many congratulations to you, Paul, on 40 years of ministry, and how wonderful that you're celebrating the occasion with our church family, as well as your family and other friends. When you retired, I don't know whether you thought you were going to put your feet up, but we were very pleased when you then walked through the church door here at St Francis and became part of our worshipping congregation. It didn't take long for you, of course, to become more involved as part of the ministry team along with Pauline. And since that moment, you certainly have enriched the worship here, dovetailing with Jenny to provide continuity and fullness of ministry in this place, and adding your thoughtful, reverential qualities and that rich brown voice. Every priest should have one of those. I, for one, have enjoyed your interest in musical matters, your appreciation of sacred art, and your very broad knowledge, which we have all benefited from through the thought-provoking courses that you have led here at St Francis. Thank you also for leading us on pilgrimage to Walsingham. All in all, you provide another layer to our religious lives and experiences. And so from everyone at St Francis, I thank you for continuing that ministry which you embarked upon 40 years ago. And I wish you all the best now and in the future.
Hello, Father Paul. Although I've only known you for a few years, you have become a great asset to St Francis of Assisi Church. Although retired, your support to Reverend Jenny, covering annual leave, covering sermons, readings and supporting when asked, is never ending. As church warden, the support you have given not only to myself but all members of the church is greatly appreciated. Paul, you created study courses and you have been welcome to attend with a mixture of attendees from other churches and denominations. The first course, Sacred Space, was very enlightening and knowledgeable. Paul, you always have a smile and you know everyone. You speak to us all, and not only are you a friend, you give support as required. We are very fortunate to have you assisting Jenny, and with your wife Pauline, you make a valuable team. Your humour when teaching is enlightening. Thank you, Paul. Although you are retired, your support is greatly appreciated by all of us at St Francis. I would like to congratulate you, Paul, on achieving 40 years in the ministry from all at our church. Paul, thank you for joining us and your continued support in the future. Thank you very much.
Hello, greetings, Paul and Pauline. It's lovely to be able to send this video on the occasion of Paul's 40th anniversary of his ordination. Many congratulations, Paul, and I can only say how much we miss you from Newcastle Diocese, how much we miss your incumbency on Holy Island, how much we miss your contribution to theological education, not just in Newcastle Diocese but throughout the North East region. Please forgive a collarless archdeacon. We're in the process of moving at the moment, and behind me you can see my embryonic theological library beginning to take place in my study. I really do hope that you have a great day. I hope that it's a wonderful celebration and that there's lots of thanksgiving to God for all that you've achieved in your ordained ministry. We miss you and we pray for you as you continue to make your new home on the south coast. All good wishes and every blessing. And Sarah joins me in sending her love.
Hey Dad! We wanted to take this opportunity to wish you a happy 40 years of being ordained.
Congratulations, we really wish we could be there with you today.
We just wanted to take some time to share some of our favourite memories from the last 25/27 years.
Where to start? I guess I would say India is one of my first big memories as a child, like getting to go there when we were just 6 and 4. What an amazing thing to do. Not many children would get the opportunity to be out of school for that long and experience so many amazing things in one go. So thanks for that.
And not many parents are crazy enough to take their 4 and 6 year olds on an 11-hour flight, so not sure that satisfying me. I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you to stop sharing the story in your sermons about when I was like, why does this church starve the children? I'm sure it gets a laugh every time, but stop it.
I guess another highlight, which would be jumping a few years forward certainly, was getting to see the band Lindisfarne play on Lindisfarne, which again, I'm sure not a lot of people have had the opportunity to do something like that. A lot of fun getting to watch you bless the tour bus and all that jazz.
Well, probably my favourite memory is getting to go to Rome and Assisi to try and help set up the conference. We definitely got to eat lots of lovely food, see lots of amazing places, and drink quite a bit of Sambuca, which is probably not what I should be taking away from that trip, but here we are.
Here we are indeed. Yeah, no, that's one of my favourite things, to be able to say, yes, my dad's vicar, but he also loves a Sambuca. And on that note, Dad, cheers.
We love you.
Have a wonderful day. We'll see you as soon as we possibly can. Love you. Bye.
So once again, thank you to everyone who shared in this virtual celebration. Thank you for all your messages and greetings and kind wishes. This celebration is a celebration in thanksgiving for all that God has given to me and enabled me to do and has perhaps done through me. And a chance for me to say thank you to all those with whom I've had the privilege of ministering and have had the privilege of sharing the Christian journey.